Postpartum preeclampsia. Let's talk about it. Since I got diagnosed with it when I was 12 days postpartum, I had actually never heard of it before. I heard of regular preeclampsia, but never postpartum preeclampsia. I'm like, what the heck? We're done. Like, why is shit still happening? Honestly, I thought the only thing to be concerned or worried about after you had a baby was like just making sure that you didn't bleed to death. But apparently that's not true, and especially for Black women. Obviously asked a ton of questions when I was in the hospital trying to understand what the hell was going on, because there was so much going on and I generally had never heard of it before. Like, I had never had an issue with my blood pressure before. But generally, there is nothing that you can do to prevent it. So if you do get postpartum preeclampsia, it's nothing that you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. I had one doctor in one of my follow-ups. Like, I have a team of doctors. I have one doctor that I ask everyone, because I'm like, maybe someone will finally tell me. And I don't know if this is just a woman thing. I'm looking to blame myself. So I'm looking for someone to be like, yeah, like, you messed up because you use Vaseline and that's why you got postpartum preeclampsia. No one has done that yet though. But I asked one of my other doctors this week, actually, when I was there, like, hey, okay, can you tell me what I did wrong? Like, how did I get here? And the way that she explained it to me, and I don't know if this is true, I know all of y'all are doctors on here, so I know you're gonna let me know in the comments, but she basically said that once the way she explained it was like, basically once the placenta, you deliver the placenta, there's like all these hormones and stuff that basically surge through your body. And basically what they found is it's almost like your body having a reaction to all of those hormones. And the word that she used was like almost like your body becoming allergic to all of the stuff that's going through your body. And this is just how your body chooses to respond. But there's nothing that you can do to prevent it. It is not diet related. I've been eating bacon for the last 7 years, and I literally have never had an issue with my blood pressure, ever. My blood pressure has always been perfect, to the point that I thought the reason they do the blood pressure at the doctors in the hospital was just for like shits and giggles, like to just find stuff to do before the doctor actually gets there. Like, because why do you keep doing this? Every time I do it, they'd be like, oh, you're perfect. Like, duh, yeah, of course. Like, so what are we sitting here talking about? But apparently that is not the case. It actually does matter, and it means something. But, you know, I see everyone, of course, in my comments is doctors. They all, you know everything, and everyone's like, oh my God, do this and don't do this and don't do that. There's nothing that you're going to be able to do to prevent it. So the best thing to do is just have awareness that it is a possibility, and to stay monitoring your blood pressure. I told in previous videos about the fact that, like, the same hospital that I was at the day prior, they had a girl that was like in ICU. I don't think she made it. And another girl that came in a couple hours before me, who started like stroking out. I don't know if it was stroke or a seizure she was having in the emergency room. And I was like minutes away from being in that same position. So really, there's not a way to prevent it. There's only education and just knowing what to look for. And again, for me, that was painful breathing when I was laying down. Not just everyone's like, oh my God, you were breathing bad and that meant you had it. I would have never gone in if I was just sounded like a heavy breather, because I've always been a heavy breather. The reason I went to the hospital was because when I would lay down, it hurt on my right side when I would breathe in and when I would breathe out. It was painful. I've never experienced pain while trying to breathe before. When I would lay down flat, it got worse. And Anthony had recorded me while I was sleeping. He recorded me, and it sounded like I was gargling water. Like, I had never been a snorer. I've snored maybe 3 times in my whole life, but he recorded me, and I was like, who the hell is, he's like, that's you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So it was very hard to sleep. I felt extreme fatigue, and not just like I'm tired because I have a baby, which is what I thought it was, but the fatigue that I felt was like brushing my teeth felt like I was going to die. Like, I felt so exhausted from every single solitary thing that I did. I also had a very severe headache, which was not going away with like ibuprofen, Tylenol, Motrin, whatever they're called. It wasn't going away with any medicine or doing anything. I thought it was a caffeine headache. I thought, okay, maybe this is a headache because when I left the hospital, they had given me narcotics for the cramping pain. You know, only a couple pills. And so Anthony was like, maybe it's because like you took the pills and then like now you're not taking the pills. Maybe your body's like going through a withdrawal. And I'm like, I don't think the body would go through a withdrawal after like 6 pills, but maybe that's it. So those were the signs and symptoms that I had. I did not have any swelling in my hands or feet. None to me that, and even in the hospital, they were like, no, there's no swelling or whatever. People on the internet were like, oh, your hands looked swollen to me, and I knew it. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Inspector Gadget. Okay, but the doctor said I did not have any swelling in my hands or in my feet. Nothing to me that looks normal. Like, I'm not a skinny girl, so we got fingers, we got toes. Like, it wasn't anything crazy to me or outlandish. So there are other symptoms, but I can only speak to the symptoms that I felt and the symptoms that drove me to go to the hospital. So now if I were to have another baby, would they encourage me to do things to help put me in a position where I'm not in the hospital again with postpartum preeclampsia? Yes, they would prescribe aspirin during, like, for me to take a certain amount of aspirin during my pregnancy. But I never had blood pressure issues prior to pregnancy. I've never had a blood pressure issue during pregnancy. Like, I've never had a generally, like, complicated pregnancy. My baby needs me.